Hey folks! Before we start, I just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who donated during Gamers Authority's VTuber SummerSlam 2024. The event raised a bit over $730,000 and it was a ton of fun. This video was one of our donation milestones and the game picked by you all on our Discord server. Alright, enjoy the video! This is getting ridiculous. How many more galleries are you going to find? At least there doesn't seem to be any more. Oh, come on! Australia, Australia, Australia. A continent known for its dangerous fauna, Great Barrier Reef, dangerous fauna, the Australian outback, dangerous fauna, the Sydney Opera House, and what the fuck? Well, believe it or not, there are some people who would live in such a beautiful, nightmarish place. People I both respect and fear because, yeah, you need to be mildly insane to live in a place that wants you dead so bad. Two of these mad lads, Harry Gibson and William Perrin, founded a game company back in 2014, Team Cherry. After two failures during game jams, they had the idea for a game taking place in an old, underground kingdom inhabited by insects, inspired by the likes of Metroid, Mega Man X and Zelda 2. And so, their project found its way onto Kickstarter. Their goal was only to crowdfund about 35,000 Australian dollars, but it ended up raising about 57,000, which allowed Harry and William to hire another developer, David Casey, and a musician, Christopher Larkin. 3 years later, Hollow Knight released on PC, a Metroidvania. Now I love myself a good Metroidvania, although it's the closest thing there is to crack cocaine in video game form in my opinion. It's also a genre that, at the time, wasn't all that popular anymore. Since the Castlevania games from the early 2000s, there hasn't really been any Metroidvania that made an impact. So, how did it go for Hollow Knight? Well, about 4 awards, 12 nominations and about 3 million copies sold by December 2020. So I'd argue it went damn well. But what is it that made Hollow Knight so successful? While Misa dives into the depths of Hollow Nest, let us find out together what made this old kingdom seduce so many people. The game starts by dropping you right in the tutorial area, King's Pass. It's honestly a pretty great tutorial, extremely unintrusive and yes, I play with keyboard, deal with it. It tells you how to move and how to attack without breaking the flow of the game, until you reach a lore tablet.
Hirelings, these words are for you alone. Your great strength marks you amongst us. Focus your soul, and you shall achieve feats of which others can only dream.
This one teaches you in a pretty organic way. You stop to read the lore, and it tells you how to heal, which forces you to stop for a couple moments. Good game design. Also, don't expect me to get into the deep lore here, I'm not that knowledgeable, go watch Mossbug or CC Mackay. Well then, this place is kinda dangerous, isn't it? Up ahead, you'll find a big blue sack. That's lifeblood. Smack it open, destroy the blue seeds inside, and you'll get some temporary health. One of them managed to escape because it's run for the hills, so let's just move on. Well, actually, I do want a life. Whoops! Oh well, just means we get more time to get used to the controls. It also teaches you something important. Hollow Nest is hazardous. It's old and the ground may fall from under you at a moment's notice. Now if you press forward, you might find an alternate route with too much spikes to jump to the next platform. Now you could wait to get some movement upgrades and come back, or you could go the cool way. This is called pogoing. There's a mechanic in Hollow Knight where if you hit some stuff while in the air, you'll be bounced back and reset your movement abilities. However, even at base mobility, you can still bounce back on spikes indefinitely, as long as you can keep the rhythm up. Alright, now it's time to leave this place.
Hirelings, these words are for you alone. Beyond this point, you enter the land of King and Creator. Step across this threshold and obey our laws. Bear witness to the last and only civilization, the Eternal Kingdom. Harvest.
Well, the door is closed, so I guess I'll just... And here it is, Dartmouth, which will serve as your, I guess, hub, even if you probably won't come back to Dartmouth that often. This place is honestly a perfect way to set the tone of the game, but I'll get back to that later. Not much to do here for now, so let's head into the crossroads. And there we are, Hallownest proper, the Eternal Kingdom. And for how much the tablets leading down there were sealing this place, it feels... dead. The air feels still, like we're exploring a tomb, and maybe you'll start wondering, why are we even here? Oh well, only one way to find out. After exploring a little bit, you should find the temple we saw in the opening cutscene. But its gates are closed, and here we'll meet another explorer. This is Squirrel. He's a bro, and this isn't the last time we'll see him. If they're fairly rare, there are some people in Hallownest who won't attack you on sight. Locals, other adventurers on their own quests, and even more. All with their stories, bringing some life to this dreadful place. Explore around a bit more and eventually you'll come across some big fly sleeping. Now we could wake her up nicely and ask that she moves out of the way. However, I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't have a mouth. Wait, why is the door not opening? Huh? Ew. Yeah, I can't get up there yet, I'll come back later. For now, let's just grab Sly and unlock his shop. After going up, we find the first tag station, which, once unlocked, means you can fast travel from this place to other spots you've discovered in Hallownest. Honestly, exploring the crossroads is pretty chill. The enemies feel sluggish, the area feels quiet. It's like actually exploring a tomb. Yeah, of course it wasn't gonna last. This is a False Knight, an imposing, slow opponent that can take a bigger beating than anything you've seen so far. You can't actually damage it, you need to stagger it and then you hit it while it exposes its head. Now if you're struggling with him, you can destroy the left wall and escape after the first phase. But it's fairly easy to take down, and by the time it took me to read this paragraph, I've already finished him. After stealing this guy's wallet, you'll find something different. Someone that feels a bit... off? Oh, never mind, he's giving us something new, we're cool. As it turns out, magic is real and you just learned a spell, the Vengeful Spirit. It's gonna be your best range option. Just tap the button you used to heal and you'll shoot a fireball in front of you, dealing a pretty good chunk of damage to enemies. It is very good. Just keep in mind that it uses the same resource you use for healing. Anyway, our snail friend threw us in his dungeon while we were asleep, so let's murder everyone until he lets us out. You're lucky you're an NPC. With the Vengeful Spirit acquired, we can defeat that boulder guarding an area to the west, and leave the stillness of the crossroads to enter the aptly named Green Path. And it's honestly impressive how much the atmosphere changes from one to the other. If the crossroads felt long dead, Green Path feels lively, wild. We're no longer in a catacomb, we're in a strange, new, colorful wilderness that's just as intriguing as the previous area. And honestly, the music just sells it so well. It's not something I touched on yet, but Hollow Knight's OST is absolutely fantastic. If other classic Metroidvanias like Castlevania or Bloodstained tend to have catchy, fast-paced music, Hollow Knight's music is a lot more toned down and atmospheric. And this is what I meant earlier when I said that it perfectly sets the tone of the game. Hollow Knight thrives on that feeling of exploring an old, abandoned kingdom. And the sound design and music do a lot to build that atmosphere. Props to Christopher Larkin, because his work on this game is nothing short of fantastic. And this place does feel like a forest, because you can get lost... Ah, that's interesting. Well, let's go ahead and give it back to her, shall we? Wait, lady, you forgot your... Dang it. Okay, ma'am, I just want to give you your...
Come no closer, ghosts. I've seen you. Creeping through the undergrowth. Stalking me. This old kingdom. A terrible thing awakens. I can smell it in the air. I know what you are. I know what you had tried to do. I can't allow it.
Ah, so that happened. Let's just pretend we didn't see a thing and proceed to the next area. The Fog Canyon is mostly forgettable for now, although haha, funny jellyfishes. Oh shit! Okay, so what do we have here?
Oh, Bakura Finero.
Hello there, dearie. I was about to close up shop and run till you came along. I provide a banking service if you're interested. Losing one's geo is a terrible thing. It's so much more likely if you carry it about on yourself. My vault is much more secure. In all my time as a banker, I've never lost a single geo. Maybe you'd consider opening an account?
Yeah, sure, why not? Next up, we reach the Fungal Waste. I do not like this place. At all. Thank God the bouncy shrooms are only in this area, because I don't think I would have been able to stomach them any more than I absolutely have to. It's not the most heinous area in the game, I just hate it. It's a mandatory stop though, for two reasons. The first one is the Mantis Claw, which is your most powerful movement ability, saves maybe for dash. It just lets you get everywhere, even in places you shouldn't be able to access right away if you know what you're doing. It's gonna feel a bit awkward at first if you're used to wall jumping from one wall to another, since the claw is best used while jumping on the same wall repeatedly. The second reason I'm here is deep in the Mantis village. It's an optional path, so you really don't need to go there, but... This is legitimately one of the best fights in the entire game. For newer players, the Mantis Laws might be their first brick wall, but this fight is just... the choreography, the rhythm, the music, everything feels perfect. It's an incredibly fair fight, one where you can just get in the flow and win through pure skill alone. It's a dance. And victory shall grant you the respect of the Mantis tribe, which means that now the Mantises will stop attacking you on sight and bow to you when you pass by. Absolutely fantastic encounter, 10 out of 10. Okay, so that might not be obvious, but from this point onward, a lot of the stuff I'll be showing is gonna be in spoilers territory. Usually in Metroidvanias, there's a point at which you're a bit more free to go wherever you want, since you've gotten some more movement options, which means you're leaving the early game and can get to the good stuff. In the case of Hollow Knight, that point is Mantis Claw, and now I have to decide where to go next. We could go through Deep Nest. Fuck that. We could go to Crystal Peaks, but I don't wanna buy the lantern yet, so instead let's go to the City of Tears. The City of Tears is legitimately one of my favorite areas in the entire game because it's just gorgeous. The atmosphere is also incredibly good. I'm not ashamed to admit I sometimes just listen to City of Tears ambience because the rain and that music just go perfectly together. It's also one of the rare areas where you're not walking on like a bajillion corpses. Fucked, I wouldn't notice, did ya? Reaching the mid-game also means we now have access to more merchants. First, the nailsmith will upgrade your nail in exchange for geo and pale ore. Second is Lem, to where you can sell the various relics you must have collected so far on your journey. This place just looks great. I wonder how it was during its prime. Oh, hi, Ornette!
Again we meet, little ghost. I'm normally quite perceptive. You, I underestimated, though I have since guessed the truth. You have seen beyond this kingdom's bounds. Yours is resilience born of two voids. It's no surprise then you have managed to reach the heart of this world. In so doing, you shall know the sacrifice that keeps it standing. If knowing that truth, you'd still attempt a role in Helmut's perpetuation, seek the grave in ash, and the mark it would grant to one like you.
Ah, the grave in ash. I wonder. Anyway, during this cutscene, you learn that you are not, in fact, the Hollow Knight. Surprise! Oh wait, I forgot about Salubra. I realize I completely forgot to talk about charms. Throughout the world, you can find or buy charms, each with their own unique and interesting effects to empower yourself. I did collect a couple of charms already, so maybe it's time to start thinking about my loadout for the rest of the game. There we go. Next I want to go to Crystal Peaks, but I still don't wanna buy the lantern yet, so let's go to the Soul Sanctum. Again, a very atmospheric area. The pipe organ coupled to this place's colors are just a fantastic combo. You feel like you just entered a Mad 7's lair. Seriously, I think one of the biggest reasons Hollow Knight is so good is because of the atmosphere. It always is just right. Okay, so what I need should be around here somewhere. Funnily enough, the first time I fought this boss, I lost. Not because I died, but because he somehow BSOD'd me. Anyway, beat up this nerd and steal his powers. Now, we've got the Desolate Dive. Your second spell, used by pressing down and your spell button at the same time. It's a powerful new tool in your arsenal that can break fragile ground and hits pretty hard while making you invulnerable for a pretty generous amount of time. It's great! We'll come back later. For now it's time to go to Crystal Peaks to get the next thing I want. The ground here is shaky, so... Another new area, another place with a fantastic atmosphere. So far, every location slaps! Except for Fungal Waste, but the Mantis Village means it gets a pass. The Crystal Peaks are a bit more demanding in terms of platforming. Movement needs to be a bit tighter, but overall, it's not that difficult. If you're good, you can even skip entire chunks with the help of miners and their projectiles. I'm mostly here for the shopkeeper's key, but since we're here, we might as well grab some more goodies. First off, we pick up the Crystal Heart from a discarded mining golem. It's a super dash that will make you fly in a straight line, and it lasts until you hit something or you cancel it. Unfortunately, it's really only useful for places where it's intended to use it, since it takes forever to charge and hitting an enemy means you'll get knocked out of it. That and the game doesn't have many just big, long, flat areas, and we immediately use it to get to the crystallized mound, where another snail shaman awaits us. Or... well, you can see for yourself, really. There we go. Every spell in the game can get a permanent upgrade, which is just the same spell but more powerful and costing the same amount of soul to cast. Since I got Shaman Stone, I wanna get all my spells upgraded as fast as possible, because it increases the damage of all my spells by a disgusting amount. Next we visit Slide to buy another key, and then go back to the Soul Sanctum, where we'll fight... some guy. Yeah, get out of my face, you nerd. There it is, Shade Soul. Now I've got our... wait, I forgot about Breath. Now we have all our spells. We can't upgrade Breaths yet, so we're as powerful as we can be, but I still want more. For that though, we need to go through... Deep Nest. Okay, so before we go further, if you're arachnophobe, please skip directly to this timestamp, because I can guarantee this place won't trigger a panic attack. I hate Deep Nest. And Deep Nest hates you just as much. It's a confusing, dark mess of an area where enemies appear from the foreground and SHIT! There's more trap holes here than... Fuck! You think you're real funny, don't ya? Whatever, I got the stack station, I win. Next, I grab the tram pass for later. Now I'll just quit out to go back to my last bench and... why did I do that? Fuck. Next area, which is where we'll find one of the last few things I wanna collect. The Ancient Basin is another banger of an area. It's not that large, not that complicated, but again a banger in terms of atmosphere. If the air in the crossroads felt still, here it feels heavy, like you could cut through it with a knife. There's something stirring down there. It feels ancient. Older than Hallownest itself. God, this place is awesome. Not today, bitch. These caves look a bit... infested. What's with all this orange goo everywhere? This is a broken vessel and it looks... kind of like us? Could it be one of our... Wait, did I just two-cycle it? I knew Shaman Stone was powerful, but jeez! Anyway, this pal was guarding our penultimate movement upgrade, the Monarch Wings, which means we can now double jump! Climbing back out of the basin, we reach the second half of City of Tears, and it's just a matter of pulling a lever to get the area fully unlocked. Since we're here and I picked a simple key up somewhere, might be a good idea to go down this one place that was locked now. Why am I not surprised? So we've got... oh god, I don't know what those are, but I hate them. Go away. Oh, that's... yeah, that's gonna be annoying. Oh, what the fuck? I'll just grab this and get out of this stupid place. You know what? I'm tired of this. Deep Nest, then the waterways. I think I've heard myself a little shopping spree. Let's go get our Geo from the... Where did she go? Okay, fine. I'll just go spend some time at the pleasure house, relax and... Oh!
Girlfriend, Gio.
Oh. Hello again, dearie. Fancy running into you here. Is it your Geo you're after? Well, you see, it's...
There we go, that's better. Okay, now that we're refreshed and ready to rumble again, it's time to go and get the last 2 upgrades I want. For that, we need to go to Kingdom's Edge. Were you tired of beautiful, very atmospheric new areas? Well, sucks to be you, because this is exactly one of those. God, I love Kingdom's Edge. Whereas Green Path feels like the wilderness, Kingdom's Edge feels... unexplored. Like no one could tell what's beyond these vast expanses and... Ah! Still, where does this snow even come from? We're underground, so it can be the weather. Is it even snow actually? I remember Arnett mentioning... Ah! Speak of the devil.
So, you'd pursue the deeper truth. It isn't one the weak could bear. Prove yourself ready to face it. I'll not hold back. My needle is lethal, and I'd feel no sadness in weakling's demise. Show me you can accept this kingdom's past, and claim responsibility for its future.
Alright, rematch it is. She's a lot faster and more dangerous here, using some new moves and... Wait, we're already done? Listen, I know Shaman's Stone is broken, but what the fuck? Well, I guess it's time for our reward. Guess we became the ruler of Alonest. That's cool. So let's go back to Ancient Basin. There's some more stuff I want down there. Those guys look a bit like me, don't they? There we go. Now all our spells are at max power. If you thought Shaman Shade was absurd, just wait until you see what Abyss Shriek can do. I'm not just here for a spell upgrade however, so let's go the other way. Now we're cooking! Shade Clock is the last movement upgrade we can get, which allows us to dash through enemies and projectiles. It's a fantastic defensive tool. Man, who lived here? Anyway, I think it's time to head back up and continue the main story. Oh! I guess I ignored the main story for a while, didn't I? Welp, I guess they didn't like me taking so long to visit. Thankfully, someone else saw what was going on and is willing to help by giving us a secret weapon. And there it is, the Dream Nail. The weapon that can cut through dreams and what will allow us to break the seals of the Black Egg Temple. Now the Dream Nail is mostly a tool to progress the story, but it still has its uses. You can read the mind of people and enemies by striking them with the Dream Nail, and hitting hostiles with it will grant you a good chunk of soul. Although it's a bit risky, since the Dream Nail is slow to use. So, now that we've got this cool little trinket, it's time to progress the story. We need to go and Dream Nail all 3 Dreamers throughout Alonest to open the door to the Black Egg. Thankfully, we already unlocked the path to Hera when we went to Deepness, so that's gonna be an easy one to reach thanks to the Stag Station nearby. No. Alright, so there she is. Now we need to be extremely careful, because if we are not delicate, we risk... 1 down, 2 to go. Next dreamer I want to tackle is Lurian. He lives in the City of Tears. I don't really have much to say about his spire, it's just more city and I'm all for it. Now contrary to Hera, there is a boss fight guarding Lurian. A 6v1 against the Watcher Knights. You can go up there and cut the rope to make a chandelier fall and kill one of them permanently, but we're so busted with Shaman's Stone, it doesn't even matter. Bring it, bitch. Easy boss, easy life. I said, having collected literally every movement and spell upgrade before this fight. Okay, so again, we need to be very careful, otherwise we might kill... Alright, And finally, Monomon. We'll find her in the Fog Canyon, hidden in a laboratory, which is just a short trek away from Queen's Station. Oh hi, Quirrell! And just like Lurian, Monomon's got someone to protect her. Don't bother attacking it in this state, the boss is invulnerable to all attacks. Thankfully, Quirrell is here to assist us during this fight. Just wait for him to strike, and then you can wait on the boss for a couple seconds. Overall, it's just a survival, and not even a difficult one. Oh Monomon, where are you? She does? Well, don't mind if I do! And just like that, as the seal are broken, it's time to go back to the temple and put an end to all of this. This is it. The black egg is open and fate awaits. Ooh boy, can you feel the tension? The path through the temple to the final boss. It's legitimately one of the best build-ups to a final boss I've ever seen. It's your last moment of respite before it's all over, where the Hollow Knight awaits. And when you get in, this is such a fantastic way to introduce your final boss. The music, the chains breaking one after another, the fall, the music stopping, and the title appearing in the middle of the screen while the music booms back up for your epic final confrontation. If the Mantis Lords were a perfect fight mechanically, the Hollow Knight is perfect thematically. And yet it feels kind of easy. After all you've gone through, it might be a bit underwhelming even. This is the Hollow Knight? And then it hits you. This isn't a fight. This is a mercy kill. You're not fighting the Hollow Knight, no. It died long ago. You're fighting its broken husk, a husk that failed to contain the infection that wiped out Alonest. And now, it's up to you to defeat it, to take its place, to succeed where it couldn't. You are the Hollow Knight. Through your sacrifice, Alonest lasts eternal. Now that we're out of the black egg, now what? The seer did mention something about the Dream Nail needing to be awoken. And there's still one place that we've yet to visit. Beyond the Fog Canyon, a different part of Green Path. The Queen's Gardens. I'll admit it, I do not particularly like this area. We are already at Green Path and this place is... well, it sure is more! It's a beautiful place, don't get me wrong, but it's just kind of forgettable. So far we haven't really had that many difficult platforming challenges throughout Alonest. This changes here, where maneuvering can be a bit more tricky. It's tight, but it's nothing impossible. There are some uninvited guests from the Mantis tribe though. Infected guys who are, honestly, a bit easier than their regular counterparts. Although that might just come from the fact we're way better equipped. We also discover, or not really discover if you paid attention, that there's a fourth Mantis Lord. I hate this boss. Not because he's hard, but because he's really, really annoying to fight. So much so that I take my first death here. Which makes me realize I haven't talked about what happens when you die, because I just didn't up to this point. When you die, you leave a shade behind, which holds all your cash and a third of your soul vessel. So if getting your geo back wasn't an incentive enough, you are actively crippled until you're able to recover your shade. And of course, dying a second time means you lose all your geo. Next attempt, the Lord goes down. Not even close. A bit further ahead, we find the home of the White Lady, the Queen of Alonest, wife of the Pale King and... our mom? I guess? She sees potential in us, so she gives us the first half of the white fragment. Next we're gonna need to awaken the dream nail. For that we need about 1800 essence, so we've got 3 solutions. We could farm enemies until we get the 0.3% chance to drop 1 essence. Screw that. We could do all the whispering routes throughout Hollow Nest, but that'd take forever for very little essence. Just shy of 500. Or we could change Warrior Dreams and rematch some bosses to get large amounts of the stuff. I've got a video to make, so... There. The dream nail. Now no dreams are out of our reach. And until then, there was only one such place. Remember when I said that Queen's Gardens is tricky to platform through? Well, welcome to the White Palace. Your real platforming test. If you aren't comfortable with the controls yet by this point, you're not gonna have a fun time. You're gonna have to jump, dash and weave your way through the palace to unlock the way forward. It's a beautiful place, legitimately one of my top 3 in the entire game. And if I love the music here, I do admit that spending too much time here will sear the sound of buzzsaws into your brain forever. And despite the fact there's enough traps around this place to make Ramen Salazar envious, a lot of these can work to your advantage. If you're skilled enough, there's a lot of shortcuts you can take and skip some annoying chunks of this place by resetting your movement abilities through Pogo. It's a lot of fun, even if there's one charm that trivializes the entire place. Once you reach the top though, it's time to finally meet him. The Pale King, the ruler of Hollow Nest, the one who could give us answers. He who holds the second half of what we're here for. Thanks, Dad! Both fragments then fuse to make the King's Soul. It's a very powerful charm that gives you passive soul regen, but you're never gonna use it for 2 reasons. The first is that it costs 5 whole charm notches to use! The second is that it's time to head back down. Down to the abyss. Open the path, go even deeper, and accept our past.
No cost to grace. No mind to think.
There we go. The void unites behind its lord and the path to a true denouement opens. It's time to go back to the Black Egg and finally put Hollow Nest to rest. The Hollow Knight is still in the way, but it's not what we are here for. There it is, the face of Hollow Nest's tormentor, the forgotten god of the Moth tribe and the source of the infection. What do you want me to say? The presentation is perfect, you've seen it. Now some people find Radiance to be a difficult boss, but the thing is, she's fairly immobile, she doesn't have a hurt box on her body, and she's immune to knockback. So... And that was Hollow Knight, one of the most enjoyable Metroidvanias out there, and one of the most revitalizing games for the genre in recent memory. It's a grand, fun adventure, with it focusing so much more on its atmosphere and exploration rather than painting an heroic run through some castle on your way to defeat evil. It offers a fresh take on the genre with an OST just as memorable as the titans that stood before it. Hollow Nest is a great and interesting place to explore, and you know what? Despite how much of the game I've shown, there's twice as much I've left out. Side quests, optional bosses, even whole areas that I purposely left out of the video because at the end of the day, it just feels wrong to rob you of all of this game's magic if you haven't played it yet. Go out there, explore Hollow Nest, and tell us what you liked most about the game in the comments. We are Miss Aleph. Once again, thank you for tuning in. May we see you again soon. For now, it is time for us to get rid of some bothersome pests.